Yesterday we talked about two special right triangles, right? A 30, 60, 90 triangle and a 45, 45, 90 triangle. What are the ratio of sides in the 30, 60, 90?
What was the question?
What's the ratio of the sides in the 30, 60, 90?
I know the 90, 45, 45.
Okay, let's start with that one then. What's the ratio of the sides in that one?
Is it like the longer part A equals?
This one would be A root 2, and then the other two
Is
are A. Good. How about 30, 60, 90? Where's the A go?
Oh, it's the between 60 and 30. It's a 2A, 2 times that.
Okay, so hypotenuse is 2A. How about opposite the 30?
The opposite of 30 is A squared, which is A.
Just A. Opposite the 60 is A root 3. Okay, I'm going to hear 27 people answer this question. What goes opposite the 30? Out loud. So I should have been more specific. 27 people answered out loud.
90.
What goes opposite the 30 degrees?
90.
No.
A.
What side goes opposite the 30 degrees? What letter of the ratio of sides goes opposite the 30 degrees?
A.
I'm going to hear 27 people say the answer to this question. What goes opposite the 30 degrees? A. What goes opposite the 60 degrees? I'm going to say it again. You're all going to say it out loud. What goes opposite the 60 degrees? I'm going to call a random name, and if you don't get it, you lose points for today's classwork. Do we want to play that? It's not a hard question. I gave you the answer. You're going to repeat it back to me. What goes opposite the 60 degrees? Nick? What goes opposite the 90?
2A.
Good. Everybody, what goes opposite the 90?
2A.
What goes opposite the 30 degrees? A. What goes opposite the 60 degrees? A root 3. What goes opposite the 90 degrees? 2A. Okay, now the 45, 45. What goes opposite the 45? A. Both 45s, right? What goes opposite the 90? Yes. We understand? Yes? Okay. All right, so again, the first thing is to identify what type of triangle it is. There are only two special right triangles that we have the side lengths for, which are 45, 45, 90, 30, 60, 90, right? This one we said 45, 45 because it's isosceles. If it's isosceles, the two angles have to be the same, which makes it a 45, 45, 90. So the A in the diagram is not necessarily the same A as the one in the ratio of the sides, right? But we do know that this time it is. Opposite the 45 would be A, opposite 45 is A, opposite the 90 is A root 2. Then they will give you one value. So in the directions here it says A is 5. That means that these are both 5. And this, I take the A and plug it in there, would be 5 root 2. So A is 5, A is 5, and B is 5 root 2. Now, if these letters were X and Y, hopefully that doesn't confuse you, okay? On the test, I used X and Y so as not to confuse the A with the A, okay? So if that's what's throwing you off, then just label it and ignore the values. Like if I look at this one, again, this is A and this is A, which they are the same. This is A root 2. This time they give me B is 12. So if A root 2 equals 12, how do I find A? Good. Divide both sides by the square root of 2. And I get A equals 12 over root 2. Can I leave it like that? No, I have to do what? Good. Rationalize it or multiply by the root 2 and the root 2 in the top and the bottom, and I get 12 root 2 over 2. Can that get simplified? Yep. 2 goes into 6 3 times, or 2 goes into 12 6 times, and I get 6 root 2. So the other two side lengths are 6 root 2. So there was two scenarios with a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Either they give you the side opposite the 45 and you just duplicate that value once and multiply it times the square root of 2 for the hypotenuse. The other was this, where they give you the hypotenuse, and for that one you've got to divide by the square root of 2 to get the other two sides. But for a 45, 45, 90 triangle, all of them should have two sides the same. All right, this one again, 45, 45, 90. This is my A, this is my A, this is my A root 2. This time they give me this is 12 root 2. So if A root 2 equals 12 root 2, I'm going to divide both sides by root 2. They cancel and I get A is 12, which means both of the other sides are 12. Okay, now what kind of triangle is this? 30, 60, 90. So the relationship is what's opposite the 30? Please, for the love of God, answer me.
Opposite of what?
Opposite the 30.
It's A.
More than Alyssa. What is opposite the 30? A. What is opposite the 60?
No, D. Oh, no.
A is root
A root 3. And opposite the 90? 2 times A. So this time they're giving you that C is 4. So this side is 4, which means A is 4. That means A root 3 would be 4 root 3. And that means 2 times A would be 2 times 4. So D is 4 root 3. And E is 8. Yep.
Why'd you put the 3 for A root 3? Like, why did 3?
That's the ratio of the sides in 30, 60, 90. So 45 is root 2. 30, 60, 90 is root 3. What was your question?
Do I have a quiz on this?
No, we'll review it. We're going to do one more section, and then we're going to go to tests. Yeah.
And how many lessons do we have?
There's 3. Yeah. One more. All right. Again, 30, 60, 90. This is my 30. Opposite the 30 is what? A. Opposite the 60 is? A root 3. Opposite the 90 is? 2 times A. This time they give me E, so they're giving me the 2A. If 2A equals 8, how do I get A? 2A equals 8. How do I get to A? Okay. And then divide by 2. So A is 4, which means this side is 4, and this side is 4 root 3. So C is 4, and D is 4 root 3. And the last one, again, 30, 60, 90 triangle. Opposite the 30 is A. More than just Alyssa. Opposite the 30 is A. Opposite the 60 is A root 3. Opposite the 90 is 2 times A. This time they give me D is 4 root 3. So this is 4 root 3. A root 3 equals 4 root 3. How do I get A by itself?
You divide square root of 3 on both sides.
Good. And that's going to cancel out. And A is 4, which means C is 4. And E is 4 times 2, which is 8. All right, Bluetooth goes on. My word. All right, 45, 45, 90. So this again only needs 145 because you know it's a right triangle. So that means the other one has to be 45. Relationship is A root 2. So if A is 7, then X is 7, and Y is 7 root 2.
Easy money.
All right, again, ratio of sides. A root 2. You feel like hear that in your sleep over and over again so it gets stuck in your head. No. So this time I gave you the hypotenuse, not A, right? So this is what we have to solve. 12 equals A root 2. Then I have to divide both sides by root 2. A equals 12 over root 2. Can you leave it like that?
Why did you put the root 2?
Because this is the side I was given this time, not the A, right? So in the last example, I gave you the A. I gave you one of these.
Right.
Now I gave you what A root 2 equals.
So that's the
So you have to solve for A. Nope, I'm not done. Can you leave a root in the bottom?
No.
No, we rationalize by multiplying by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2. And I get 12 root 2 over root 2 times root 2, which is 2. Then I simplify and I get a equals 6 root 2. So a is also the x and the y. X equals 6 root 2. Y equals 6 root 2. So those are the two different scenarios with 45, 45, 90. Either you get given one of the legs, which is the a, or, which is like the last one, or you get given the hypotenuse, which you have to set equal to a root 2 and divide. So where does the a go? On the left side where that 5 is, right? Opposite the 30. Where does the a root 3 go?
On the bottom of the
On the bottom. Where does the 2a go? Where the y is opposite the right angle. So this time I gave you a. These are the easy ones, right? Because a is 5, which means x is 5 root 3. Y is 10. 2 times 5.
I got it right.
David, take the sweater off. Today I'm gonna put your name on a demerit. And if you walk in my room with that sweater, I turn it in.
Because 5 equals 8, so she's and 5 is 1.
Yeah, can I wear it too much shirt?
We haven't had this conversation like 6 times. It's like talking to Dory. Yes.
Wait,
No, they do.
Under? Yes, let me show you my Friday shirt on the outside. All you sitting there ignoring this is going to be lovely when you get your grade at the end. All right, next one.
There we go. You do this.
Ethan, Julian, do this one. Okay, now what side gets the A? The X. What side gets the A root 3? Y. What side gets the 2A? This time I gave you the 2A, right? So if 2A equals 10, what's A? A is 5, which means this side is 5, and this side is 5 root 3. X is 5, Y is 5 root 3.
So once you get one, you basically got it all.
Yeah. You just got to figure out which one they gave you. What goes where? Where's the A go?
X.
Where the X is. Where's the A root 3 go?
12.
Where's the 2A go?
Y.
Okay, now which one did I give you? This is the hardest one, right? I gave you the bottom, so I gave you 12 equals A root 3. Then I have to divide them both by square root 3. These cancel, and I get A equals 12 over root 3.
Times root 3.
And I multiply both root 3 and root 3. And I get 12 root 3 over 3, which is 4 root 3.
I did it differently. Yeah, I did it way different.
Is Y 12?
But it's the same thing.
Is Y 12?
Oh.
No. So A, right, which is the X, is 4 root 3. So X is 4 root 3. Then A gets plugged in here, right? So 2 times 4 root 3. And what's the rule on multiplying radicals?
It's A square root.
Good. You can multiply what's on the outside of the radicals together.
Squared and opposite side should be.
Excuse you.
So you bring down the square root 3. I did it differently.
Did you get the same answer? Did you square both sides and then square root them?
4.
What'd you do?
Square root 3. Huh?
Oh, 4 by itself's not right though.
Yeah.
You need the root 3, so you can't lose it. So don't do it that way. Carla, do you have a question?